Hey, what's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Sorry about that. Just had to check on something real quick. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Welcome, welcome. I see we already got some people in the house. So please, when you come in, make sure you check in. Just tell me where you're from, and then let's just give everybody about 4 to 5 minutes to come in, and we can all say what's up. Hey, Mar, what's good? How are you? Jalen, yo, how are you, man? Who else we got? Angel, what's good? LA in the house, what's good? Don John, good to see you again. Good to see you again. Okay. Yeah, let's just give everybody some time to come in here. I got a lot of stuff I want to talk about today. Ryan, what's good from Indiana? Okay, great. How you doing, Ryan? Ryan, good to see you. Hey, Jansen, what's good, man? Good to see you. How you doing? Jamie, what's going on? Ryan, what's good? Don John, I really hope we win tonight. Yeah, I got a lot of stuff I want to talk about. Also, I'm gonna be talking about the DeMarcus Cousins. I know that they extended his contract. We got a lot of stuff that I want to talk about today. Please make sure you guys hit the like button so we get the notifications out. That's the only reason, just to get notifications. Hey, 077 from Puerto Rico. Good to see you. Good to see you. So just make sure you hit the likes, and let's give everybody some time to come in. We've only been here for about a minute. Let's give everybody about 2 to 3 minutes. So while people come in, I'll just be greeting you guys and just let me know how's it's going on your side. Okay, we winning tonight. Yeah, I got a lot I want to talk about. I'm happy for DeMarcus Cousins. He did. Also, hey, Tori, what's good, man? Good to see you. That's Marco right there. By the way, that's Marco that just said that. So that's Marco that just responded from Dreamerspro. Marco's usually live with us all the time, guys. So he's there with us. So he's there. Marco's a busy dude, so he can't be on here with us. He has a lot of stuff to do. He's a very busy guy. Okay, we got 20 people in here in 2 minutes. Make sure you guys hit the likes. Hey, Sharon, thanks a lot. We really appreciate that. We're doing our best. So let's give it a few more minutes. Let's try to get to about 40, 50 people, and then we'll definitely get it started. Hey, the real Jay Stone, the Laker fan. How you doing, man? The Clippers-Sixers final sounds like it doesn't make sense for the script to me. I realize the real Jay Stones, you're a bit of a conspiracy theorist, I see, man. Okay, we got 20-some people in it. Let's just wait a little bit longer. Yeah, I'm happy for DeMarcus too, man. I'm happy for him too. Let's just wait a little bit longer. We got about 30 people in here. Let's keep it going. Also, for the new people in here, just make sure you guys join the channel if you haven't already, because what usually happens is that a lot of people, once people start coming in, last time I think we had well over 1,000+ comments. So if you guys want to make sure your comments get read or responded to, make sure you join the channel. Just hit the $ and join the channel. It's like only $1.99. So make sure you guys join the channel to ensure that your comments are read to or responded to, but also on the channel. So it's the easiest way for you guys to do that. So just make sure you go ahead and do that. Because okay, we got 30 people in here. Make sure you guys get the likes up. Let's give it about a minute, 2 more minutes, and then we'll get started. Let's make sure we get enough people in here. Hey Ryan, thanks so much for that. Why this is from Gringer Killer. Why do you not nah, man, I don't think I'll be a good an analyst on ESPN. Me and Marco were like entrepreneurs before, so I don't know if we would work there, man. I don't know if we would work there. And plus, I know on ESPN I'd have to be nice to Stephen A. Smith every day, so I don't think I'll do a good job on ESPN. Make sure you guys hit the like button, guys. Make sure you guys keep hitting the likes so we get the notifications out. Let's give it one more minute, a minute and 20 seconds. We're about 30 people in here. Let's try to get to 40 people. Why will you talk about the Celtics-Lakers match? The Celtics defense is a play. I don't know. Are they playing today? Let's just give it one more minute. Let me check the schedule real quick. While people come in, make sure you guys hit the like button. Make sure you hit the likes. Let me just confirm if the Lakers and Celtics are playing tonight. I think they played yesterday. Exactly. I think they played yesterday. The Lakers and Celtics, they played. No. Yeah, they played yesterday. No, if the question is, are there a finals matchup? I don't think the Celtics are coming out of the East. Just my opinion. Okay, let's give it 30 more seconds. Make sure you guys keep hitting the likes. Just Blaze Stefano, what's good? Welcome. Thanks so much. Nick Wrong is just hating because of his boyfriend. Man, I'm not getting started on that right now. It's still too early in the video. So let's give it. Okay, we're at 40 people now. Let's give it 30 more seconds. Let's try to get to 50 people. For the new people coming in, make sure you guys hit the like so we get the notifications out. Hey, I'm doing good, man. We're doing good here. Just busy Friday. Hey, Zach, how you doing? Would you have the Clippers? Don't worry, I'm going to get to as many questions as I can. Let's just give it about 10 more seconds. So generally what I do is I like to do the video, and then as you guys start asking questions, as more people come in, I'll definitely get to as many questions as I can. Okay, so we got about 44 people in here. Okay, so people will start trickling in. As the new people come in, just tell them to hit the like. David Banner, is that the real David Banner? Okay, guys, so let me get into this topic here. I got a lot that I want to discuss today. So let me get into this video here. Again, if you guys haven't joined the channel, make sure you go ahead and hit the join button so I can see your notifications, your questions. If you have any, make sure you hit the $ to join the channel, because I have a lot that I want to cover today, so I can get to everybody. So listen, the Clippers and the Sixers have been the two best teams in the NBA. Okay, the Philadelphia 76ers right now, as we currently speak, have the #1 record in the Eastern Conference, and the Clippers, the Los Angeles Clippers, they're the #3 seed in the Western Conference. Now, to be honest, a few weeks ago, I didn't think the Clippers were going to make it back to the 3 seed. I know they were the 4 seed, and I thought, okay, this team is going to be around the 4 seed, but I was actually surprised after they got a win that put them into the 3rd seed. So now they're in the 3rd seed. The Clippers have been doing well. So I know these two teams are matching up tonight, right? And I want to give you guys, this is going to be a preview, but I also want to take a lot of your questions, and I want to give you guys a lot of information so you have the information. So when we get into the questions, you have enough information. So first of all, the Philadelphia, hey, Ryan Newsom, thanks so much. Salute to Dwayne Wade. Big move for him. And also Alex Rodriguez. I think he's going to be the owner of the Timberwolves, if I'm not mistaken. I think in 2022, 2023. I haven't looked into that deal just yet, but I think he's going to be one of the owners. So right now, the Sixers are the #2 rated defensive team in the NBA. Okay, I was actually pulling up a lot of these figures today. The Clippers, the Sixers are the #2 rated defensive team in the NBA. The Clippers are the #10 ranked defensive team, which is very good. The Clippers are #5 in scoring in the NBA at 115 points per game, while the Philadelphia 76ers, on the other hand, are ranked #10 in scoring. They're scoring about 113.9 points per game, right? Now, the Clippers, as we said the last time, if you guys know this, the Clippers are still the #1 3-point shooting team in the NBA. They're shooting 41.8%. I think the Clippers have the 2nd highest 3-point shooting percentage in NBA history. I think this Clippers team is shooting a higher percentage than that Golden State Warriors team, I think in the 2016 season, if I'm not mistaken, right? And the only team that they're trailing all time is the Charlotte Hornets. Although this Clipper team is attempting more threes. So the Clippers are the #1 3-point shooting team in the NBA. The Sixers are the #4 team. So the Sixers are making about 36.9% of their threes. Now, on the defensive side of the floor, if we're talking about points allowed, the Clippers and the Philadelphia 76ers are pretty much giving up the same amount of points per game at 108 points per game, right? So this is pretty much how these two teams match up when we're looking at them overall. Now, obviously, the Clippers are also the top 5 in field goal shooting, if I'm not mistaken, and they're also the #1 free throw shooting team in the NBA. But the Philadelphia 76ers are a very stout team on the defensive side of the floor and on the offensive side of the floor. Now, it's important that I say this. I was listening to First Things First, and I was listening to Antoine Walker, and this is the reason why I put such a premium on NBA players or former NBA players analysis, because the analysis that these guys give, they give you from a different perspective. These guys are speaking from a point of experience. A lot of us, we're just speaking from an analytical side of point of view, right? But these guys have actually played the game. And he said, listen, they were talking about the Philadelphia 76ers and the Brooklyn Nets. And he said, listen, I know some people are pretty high on the Philadelphia 76ers, but hold on a minute. They're going to need to be able to score at least 115 points per game to stay with the Nets. That's a very good point, because the Nets, I believe the Nets and the Milwaukee Bucks are the top scoring teams in the NBA. The Milwaukee Bucks are scoring 119.2 points per game, followed by the Brooklyn Nets, who are scoring 118.8. Now, let me say this. The Brooklyn Nets, for the majority of the season, have been the #1 scoring team in the NBA. But you got to bear in mind, guys, that James Harden has been out of the lineup, right? He's not in the lineup. So obviously their PPG game is going to fluctuate. Right? You bring back James Harden, you plug him back into that offense, they're going to be able to generate more points. So that's something to pay attention to. And the Brooklyn Nets are the #1 field goal shooting team in the NBA. Now, the Philadelphia 76ers are in the top 5 in steals per game, which is pretty good. And I think, personally, just on my from my perspective, I think Ben Simmons is a defensive player of the year. Okay, I want to get into Ben Simmons for a second. Okay, guys, make sure you guys please hit the like button. We're almost at 70 people. I want us to see us get to 100 people. Please make sure you guys hit the like button. Let me just go over some of the comments you guys are reading while you do that. And then, okay, let me see here. Mainly because of Simmons. Yes, Doc Rivers carried the Sixers. Yeah, Doc Rivers is doing a pretty good job with that team. Make sure you guys hit the likes, guys, so we get the notifications out. Still a little bit too low on the like side. So make sure you hit, they don't generate, the likes don't make any money, guys. It's just to get the notification so YouTube sends it to more people. So this thing is rocking in here. I know we've been on here for 10 minutes, so I'm sure you enjoy when we get at least 100, 200 people in here. So yeah, Doc Rivers has been doing a good job with them. Let me see what else. Simmons also generate the most threes. Okay, yes, Ben Simmons is an incredible player. I'm going to get to the players in a second. Bro, don't disrespect the GOAT analyst in Nick Wright ever again. What? How is Nick Wright the GOAT? Are you one of his relatives coming up in here talking about Nick Wright as the GOAT? What's the GOAT thing that he said? How is he the GOAT? Nick Wright said that Kobe Bryant was never the best player in the NBA. That's the first thing that I know I shouldn't be listening to Nick Wright. Every basketball player, all the other, he's the only one that said that. He's the only one that said when LeBron had 3 rings that he was better than Michael Jordan. How's he the GOAT? GOAT as far as what? Is it because he's using $50 words and you're impressed by it? What's the GOAT? I don't see the GOAT, the GOAT in his things that he says. Nick Wright just says stuff. Nick Wright today that we're talking about, he will go to the moon just to try to make an argument. I don't see what the GOAT thing that you're seeing. The GOAT. Well, what about him as the GOAT? Max Kellerman is better than him. Skip Bayless is better than him. Even though Shannon Sharp as biased as he is. Oh, okay, you was joking. Okay, you see, I didn't know. My bad. I didn't know. But anyway, make sure you guys keep hitting the likes. Let me get into let me continue here. So anyway, let's talk about their key players, because remember, Kawhi Leonard is going to be out tonight. Okay, Kawhi Leonard is going to be out tonight. But since we're talking about a potential finals preview, I'm going to talk about Kawhi Leonard's numbers as well. So let's talk about the Clippers for a second and their best players. Kawhi Leonard this season is scoring about 26 points per game. He's shooting, just a second here. Let me pull up his numbers, because this website right here, some of the numbers may be a little bit off. Yeah, so he's scoring 26 points per game. He's shooting 51.5% from the field. Think about that, guys. 51.5%. That means Kawhi Leonard is actually shooting 4 percentage points higher this year than he shot last season. He's shooting 39.5% from the three. Kawhi Leonard is shooting about 1.5 percentage higher than he did last season, and he's shooting about 88% from the free throw line. He's getting you 6.6 rebounds, 5 assists, and 1.7 steals, right? So in a series, this is a player to look out for. Then you got Paul George for the Los Angeles Clippers. Paul George's scoring has been going up. I think you guys know Paul George has scored at least 30 points over the last 4 games, and he's averaging about 34 points per game over the last 4 games. You got to bear that in mind, okay? And he's shooting some ridiculous number from over the three. He's shooting like over 50% from the field and over 50% from the three. Now, PG, if we're comparing his numbers to last season, Paul George this year is shooting about 4 percentage points higher this year than he was last year for the Clippers. Last season, he shot 44% from the field. This year, he's shooting 48%, right? Last season, he shot 41% from the three. This year, Paul George is shooting 44%. He's shooting a higher free throw percentage. He's shooting about 90% from the free throw line, 89.8. Let's round it up. That's 90%. The guy's almost having a 50-40-90 season. He's getting you 6.2 rebounds per game and 5.5 assists and 1.2 steals, right? So Paul George is having a very solid season. Now, if we look at Joel Embiid, right, because a lot of people feel like Joel Embiid could be the MVP of the season. Let me read you guys Joel Embiid's numbers. He's scoring 29.8. Let's just round it up to 30. The guy's scoring 30 points per game. He's shooting 51.6% from the field. He's shooting 39% from the three as a center. Bear that number in mind, because this is what makes Joel Embiid so hard of a cover, because he can destroy you in the post. He can bring out opposing bigs. There's really no big like him in the NBA, probably with the exception of Anthony Davis and Nikola Jokic. Those are the 2 guys, right? These are the best big men in the NBA, in my opinion. On top of that, he's shooting 85% from the free throw line, getting you 11 rebounds per game, 3.1 assists, 1 steal, and 1.5 blocks. Those are some beast mode numbers. Like, let's just be honest about it. Those are some beast mode numbers. Now, if we bring up Ben Simmons, who I had his numbers up here, Let me bring up Ben Simmons for a second because Ben Simmons is a player I want to focus on for a minute. Ben Simmons from this season, Ben Simmons is averaging 15 points per game. He's shooting a high field goal percentage at 54.5% from the field. He's shooting 30% from the three. Now, I'm not going to mention why. Ben Simmons is not attempting, not even one. He's attempting 0.2 3-pointers a game. Ben Simmons doesn't shoot. And he's shooting 62% from the free throw line. But he is getting you 7.6 rebounds, 7.1 assists, 1.6 steals. And personally, apart from Kawhi Leonard, I think Ben Simmons is one of the best perimeter defenders in the NBA. This guy can play defense. Make sure you guys hit the like button, guys. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Also, I see we're getting a lot of comments in here. So, guys, if you want to make sure your comments are read, because there are a lot of them here, make sure you guys hit the join button and just join the channel so I can pick it out because there's so many comments coming in. But listen, Ben Simmons, to me, I think, is an amazing defensive player. If you watch this guy play defense, the way he moves his feet, his lateral quickness, his hands, his size, the dude is 6'8" and he's strong. That's another thing about Ben Simmons. A lot of people don't kind of pay attention. The guy's strong and he has a lot of weight to him. Ben Simmons, guys, according to NBA.com, and I think these numbers are wrong. Here they have him listed as 6'11". It's not true. He's 6'8". Okay, but he's about 60. But he's about 240 pounds. The guy is he has a lot of size and he's a good body. He has a good body on him. So Ben Simmons is a key matchup. And then of course you have Tobias Harris, who's scoring over 20 plus points per game, and he used to be a former Clipper. So he's a legitimate player that they got there as well. Okay, AD is not a center. Yeah, I think he plays the 4. But sometimes I think in fourth quarters, correct me if I'm wrong, he finishes at the 5, I think. Sometimes. Let me go through some of the comments that you guys are leaving here. They got a lot of comments in here. Yeah, AD is not a center. He's not a center. Let me see. A career high in assists for PG. Yeah, PG's playing out of his mind. We're going to get to Paul George in a second. Sixers can definitely beat the Nets in the postseason. I heard Nick Rice say that. They can because of Joel Embiid. But there's a good point, again, that Antoine Walker made, which was this. Make sure you guys keep in the like button. We're almost at 100 people. Antoine Walker said, the thing that the Nets are going to do with Ben Simmons is this. They're going to load up on Joel Embiid. They're going to load up on him, and they're going to back off Ben Simmons. And they're going to dare Ben Simmons to shoot. Now, somebody made the point that Ben Simmons also generates a lot of his offense from his assists. But at the same time, you got to be able to put the ball in the basket. I saw the game when Ben Simmons had his career. I think he had a 40-point game. I think it was against the Jazz, if I'm not mistaken. He recently had a 40-point game, career game. But the majority, or if not all of his shots, came at the rim. Ben Simmons can attack the basket almost as good as a prime LeBron, because a prime LeBron, I've seen nothing like that before. LeBron, if you go look at a younger LeBron James, 2008, 2009, LeBron was like, I've never seen somebody attack the rim with that type of force. He would just knock dudes over. I remember seeing LeBron when he was with the Cavs playing against the Lakers, just slamming into guys and throwing them all over the place. As Skip Bayless says, ragdolling guys. But Ben Simmons is going to need to be able to score on the perimeter to keep the Nets defense honest. Some people are saying, listen, you have Seth Curry out there. He can hit threes. You have Tobias Harris out there. He can hit threes. But also, you're going to need Ben Simmons on the floor to play defense against KD or James Harden, right? If he's just bringing you defense and you can't make a shot, then I don't see how it really helps you. Now, he does a lot of great things, but to beat the Brooklyn Nets, you're going to need to be able to generate a lot of points. This is the fact of the matter. You need to be able to generate a lot of points playing against that team. They're too potent of an offense. One of the reasons I think the Clippers can hang with them, because the Clippers can shoot a lot of threes. They can make a lot of threes, right? So, and also the Clippers have been really improved defensively. Let me see what else you guys got for me. Clippers will beat the Sixers tonight. Zubac can cover and beat. The Clippers are going to have a chance to beat them. I think we're not kind of jumping the gun, but since you made that comment, let me move a little bit forward. The Clippers can beat the Philadelphia 76ers tonight. However, few things need to happen, in my opinion. I know Kawhi is not playing. I know Marcus Morris Sr. is. The Clippers are definitely, I think, going to have that Brooklyn Nets defense on a swivel, but the Clippers need to make, in my opinion, at least 14 threes in this game, or 15. The Clippers are making 14 and a half three-pointers a game. They need to be able to hit that number tonight. If they make 14% or if they make 14, 15 threes, they're probably going to shoot around 45% from the three. In the last few games, with the exception of that game last night, or the game that they played against the Detroit Pistons, the Clippers have been shooting about 50% from the three. It's absurd. Even against what's the team, the Phoenix Suns, the Clippers are still shooting a high percentage. Make sure you guys hit the like button, guys. We just crossed 100, so just make sure you guys keep hitting the likes so we get the notifications out. So I expect the Clippers are going to need to hit their threes. Number one, Kawhi is not on the floor, so in my opinion, the Clippers are not as good a team without Kawhi. Another thing worth mentioning before we just summarily dismiss the Sixers and say, "Oh, the Clippers are going to win." Serge Ibaka is not playing. Serge Ibaka is he's a big body that you can put on Joel Embiid. He can't guard him, but he's a defense, but he can help him, which means that the primary defender on Joel Embiid this game is going to be Ivica Zubac. Now, I don't know if Ivica Zubac, as Shannon Sharp says, has enough bricks in his back pocket to stay with Joel Embiid, which brings me to DeMarcus Cousins. Let me, just 1 second. I'm going to get to DeMarcus Cousins. Let me just see what you guys guys are saying here. Let me see. Ben Simmons is 6'10". Yeah, I'm seeing 6'11". I don't know how he became so tall. Are you sure he's 6'10"? I think he might be 6'9". I know him and LeBron about the same height. Let me see. Let me see. What else you guys got for me? If the Clippers don't win it all and Kawhi Leonard leaves, it will be a really bad. And I don't think he's going to leave. Let me see. Kawhi is not leaving. I don't think where would Kawhi go? I'm not sure. Is Stephen A. Clippers by 30 tonight? Is that what Stephen A. Smith said? I don't know. I didn't hear him. Boogie. Okay, Boogie. Let me see what else. Okay, yeah. Which brings me to DeMarcus Cousins. The Clippers, I think today, they just finalized an extension for DeMarcus Cousins with them. Now, I think DeMarcus Cousins is going to need to get some minutes today. Because let me tell you this. If Ty Lue does the thing of you sub out Zoo and you try to put Patrick Patterson or Nicholas Batum or Marcus Morris Sr. on that, you're going to be looking at barbecue chicken all night long. Okay? I think DeMarcus Cousins needs to get some minutes tonight, just to have another big body to put on Joel Embiid. Also, because, thanks for that, Ryan, I'm going to get to your question. Also, because I think DeMarcus Cousins can be a threat from the offensive side of the floor. DeMarcus Cousins can play. It's not like as if DeMarcus Cousins can't play. DeMarcus Cousins can play. So I think he's going to make Joel Embiid play a little bit of defense as well, which is going to use up a little bit of his energy. So it's not like as if when he played against the Dallas Mavericks and he was out there bully balling dudes. If he plays against a skilled big, he's going to have to play some defense. And I think DeMarcus Cousins is definitely going to help this team. I'm going to get to your question in a moment, Ryan. So I'm glad that they were able to extend him because, listen, we don't know when Serge Ibaka is coming back. Serge Ibaka's missed, I think, the last 17 games. It's actually crazy how many games Serge Ibaka's missed. He's missed a lot of games. Patrick Beverley is another one that's missed a lot of games. Make sure you guys hit the likes guys, so we can get this thing to about 150, 200 people. Patrick Beverley's also missed a lot of games. So in my opinion, they're going to miss Serge more than even Kawhi probably from a matchup standpoint, because I believe the Clippers can generate their offense with Reggie Jackson. Now that we're talking about Reggie Jackson, is it just me, or have the Clippers found their replacement as far as their sixth man replacing Lou Williams? Isn't Reggie Jackson a new sixth man on his team? He's scoring more points, in my opinion, than Lou Williams. This dude, you saw the game where he hit the other night against the Detroit Pistons. This dude right here, man, he is filling in nicely for Lou Williams. I haven't heard any Clippers fans or anybody else even mention his name, Lou Williams, in a while. So Reggie Jackson is really stepping up. Let me get to Ryan's question. What will define good or bad if the Clips versus 76ers finals, Kawhi versus PG and Doc Legacy, win or lose? What will define good or bad? I'm not sure what you mean. We'll look at the Clippers versus 76ers final, Kawhi. I'm not sure what you mean by that question, Ryan. I think if you're saying what will define good or bad if the Clippers versus 76ers finals, man, I'm not sure what you mean. Do you mean if the Clippers were to meet the 76ers in the finals, who would win? How does it affect their legacy? If that's what you mean, I'm not sure. Obviously, if the Clippers go to the finals and they win it all, obviously, most people are going to say that Ty Lue was the better coach. Most people are going to say that, right? They were like, Doc Rivers wasn't able to take this team to the finals. Now, is it fair? Not really. because Doc Rivers didn't tell guys to be coming in and out of the bubble, number one. Doc Rivers didn't tell Lou Williams to go to Magic City. He didn't tell him to do that, right? Doc Rivers couldn't force all of those guys to want to be in the bubble. For them to want to be in the bubble, they actually have to want to be in the bubble. Doc Rivers can't be the reason that probably Montrezl Harrell and Paul George didn't get along, right? So there are a lot of things you could put a Doc Rivers foot as far as, making adjustments in a lot of those games. But at the same time, Doc is still regarded as a really good coach in the NBA and a good leader. So if the Clippers go to the finals and beat the Sixers, I think it says more about Ty Lue than it does about Doc Rivers, in my personal opinion. I'm not sure if I answered your question properly. I just tried to read it the best way I could. Let me just see what else you guys are saying here before I continue here. Okay, good. Thank you for the likes. Okay, we're about 123, almost at 150. Let's allow more people to get in here too. Let me see what else you guys are saying. Action Jackson, I agree. Mark my words. If Joel winning, he must be had 20 foot. I'm not sure what you mean about that. Scoring wise already. Okay, I'm not sure what you guys 76 is not making it unless Nets choke. Good point. Good point. But let's talk about the Nets for a second. What is going on with the Brooklyn Nets? I can understand KD being out or missing games because of an injury. I can understand James Harden, who to me I think is their most durable player, personally. Kyrie seems to be in and out of the lineup pretty much whenever he wants. I love Kyrie. I like his game. I like the way he thinks to a certain extent. But the thing of him not being there is actually starting to become problematic. And also, let me say this about the Nets. When they played against the Lakers, I don't know if you guys saw that game. The Nets had a chance to come back and possibly win that game, right? Kyrie was sitting on like 30-something points or whatever it was. And they didn't bring him back in the fourth quarter. Now, if he was on 30-minute if he was on a 30-minute restriction, are you telling me if they play him 33 minutes or 34 minutes, it was going to be detrimental to his health? Do y'all remember early in the season when KD was playing a game, the Brooklyn Nets had a chance to win it, if I'm not mistaken, and they refused to let him in the game because I think if he went in the game, he would be over his minutes by 3 or 2 minutes or something like that, and they sat him at the end of the game, and I think he went to the back, and he said, free Kevin Durant. The Nets medical staff has made some questionable decisions when it comes to their players. Their medical staff has made some questionable decisions this year. Maybe you guys can understand it as something I don't. So let me just go into some of the stuff you guys are saying. No, Kawhi's not playing tonight. Ben Simmons is a glorified Draymond. No, Ben Simmons can play defense. I'm not going to get into Draymond Green with his defensive statements because Draymond Green be saying some stuff that I don't know what the hell he's talking about. Do you think Joel will cry if Kawhi plays? Joel. That's funny. Nah, I don't think Joel's going to cry. Boogie is going to eat. Let's see. Because Joel Embiid can play defense, guys. Joel Embiid can move his feet. He can block shots. He can. Joel Embiid is an underrated defensive player. I think he's a very good player, and he's one of the reasons the Nets are the number 2 ranked defense in the NBA. Joel Embiid is a good defensive player. Do you think the Nets will make it to the finals? They got a chance. They definitely got a chance, but they need to start playing some games together. To me, I think the most important net, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Make sure you guys keep hitting the like button, guys. I think the most important net, in my opinion, is James Harden. And I notice a lot of you guys have different questions. So listen, guys, for the new people that are here, we have a platform called Dreamerspro Max. It's an online sports community. I'm sure some of you guys know about it already. It's a place where you can go and start basketball discussions. So I see some of you guys have a lot of different questions. You could go in there, leave questions. We produce content on there that we don't produce on our channel. We chat live during games. Quick thing to say. Tonight, we're going to be going live on Dreamerspro Max for the Sixers and Clippers game. We're going to be live on there tonight. So if you guys want to be a part of that, make sure you guys hit the link. Check out the video in the description below, or we're going to have it. We have it on our channel. So click there and sign up for 7 days to get free access. We're going to be live tonight. So if you guys want to be a part of that, you want to chat with us, we're going to be live tonight. Let me get into some of your questions, and then I'll continue with the video. It has been confirmed that Tobias Harris will not play tonight. Wow, that changes up things. If both of these teams are not going to be at their full strength, then I don't know what we're meant to think about this. Reggie's the new 6-man. Who will be? Okay, I'm not sure. What else? If the Nets win, okay. So let me get back into the video here because I see we got a lot of different questions. Okay, wow, Ryan. Okay, thank you for that. So you got another question. Remember when they showed the Curry family during the playoffs of the Mavs versus the Clippers? because of that back-to-back history between PG and Doc's daughter. Okay, I can see that again. Okay, you're referring to that. Okay. Yeah, I think that was a very, very, very weird situation, to be quite honest with you, guys. I think that was a weird situation. Just imagine. Make sure you guys hit the like button, guys. We're almost at 150 people. Make sure you guys keep hitting the like so we get the notifications out. Imagine this. You're Doc Rivers, or to the guys in here. I know there's some ladies in here, but to the guys for a second. You have a daughter. Okay, you're a coach. You have a daughter. The guy you're coaching cheated on your daughter with, I'm not going to get into the details, cheated on your daughter. Wouldn't that be kind of weird for you guys? Like how you would, wouldn't it be at the back of your mind every time you look at the dude, especially if he doesn't perform well or he goes out there and says something crazy to the media? Wouldn't you be looking at this dude kind of sideways? Do you think that Doc looks like a very professional guy. He looks like he looks like a very mature guy, but I'm sure some of that must have been playing in the background, because I remember, to Ryan's point, in that Dallas Mavericks series versus the Clippers in the first round, Seth Curry was talking a whole lot of trash to Paul George. If y'all remember, I remember that. Seth Curry had a lot to say, a lot of stuff to say to Paul George. So I remember that, and that kind of happens. For sure, there's going to be some of that kind of percolating in the background, because at the end of the day, these are human beings. Like I think Doc Rivers is a dad before he's a coach, in my opinion. I think he's a dad first, then he's a coach. So he's a man first, a dad, and then he's a coach first. So I think that kind of stuff was percolating, because otherwise, why would Seth Curry be talking junk to Paul George, in my opinion? Let me say, I got another question here. Do you think that Kyrie should get paid if he's not playing? Oh, man. Okay, you guys are taking it in a different direction. I still got my notes because I still want to talk about Anthony Davis as well. I still got a lot of stuff I want to get to, but let me answer some of your questions because I think it's a good question right now. Do you think that, okay, as I said, I like Kyrie Irving a lot. Okay, I like his game. I think he's the best show in the NBA. I think he's a thoughtful dude. Sometimes he doesn't say his things in the most thoughtful way. Max, I'm going to get to your question. Thank you so much for that. I'm going to get to your question just in a second. I think sometimes he has some problems kind of expressing himself. But let me just say this one thing about him sitting out games. I think it's a little bit problematic, right? And this is the reason why. It's problematic, but it's not Kyrie's fault. I think if you want to solve this issue, you got to go back to the CBA, the collective bargaining agreement. The players and the owners collectively bargained this to whereas, number one, these contracts are guaranteed. I saw like a highlight on YouTube. I think is it Brandon Marshall? I think they have a channel called I Am Athlete, and they were arguing about this. NBA players, for the most part, have guaranteed contracts. Okay. Given the fact that they have a guaranteed contract, it gives them so much leeway. The players in the NBA have so much power to their collective bargaining agreement that it facilitates this type of stuff happening. Now, in the new collective bargaining agreement that they're going to have, if the owners say, listen, we see that players like Kyrie, great players, are sitting out games, right? Games that they should be playing. Even forget about the owners. What about the league? Sitting out big games on nationally televised games, some stars are not showing up. That's an issue, because as a business, as a product, you want to make sure every time your product is in front of the most amount of people, you want to make sure you're putting out the best product as possible. If we're looking at it from a business standpoint, this is to kind of tackle this question, right? If you're looking at it from a business standpoint and I'm the NBA, I'll be pissed. I would be pissed. I'll say, wait a minute. We're paying you $100 and something plus $1,000. I'm going to get to your question in just a moment. We're paying you $100 plus $1,000 depending on who you are every 2 weeks. And you mean to tell me you're taking sick days left and right? You're not playing every day. You're playing 4 to 5, I think 4 games a week, probably. Why are you taking on so many games? From an ownership standpoint, I will be pissed off. If you guys were all business people, for example, just imagine a scenario where all of your employees were given guaranteed contracts. You would be pissed off, right? Because a lot of these in a lot of these situations, these are performance-based contracts that occur in the past. So players are performing they have a certain level of performance in the past that you now have to pay for in the future. But all the player needs to do is play to a certain level, to a certain time point, which will now allow them to negotiate a certain contract that will pay them in the future. So all the work that they do in the past is guaranteeing them money in the future, and now things like this can happen. So from an ownership standpoint, I would be annoyed. You guys, if you're paying somebody and the guy's not showing up to work or taking off whenever he wants, and you have strong unions, which is pretty much the NBA players union, it's a very strong union, then you're going to see issues like this. Because if the NBA tries to go after Kyrie, you have a union, which Chris Paul is the president and all of this different stuff. So it's a problem on ownership. It's a problem for the ownership standpoint, but also from the players. You want to have some type of autonomy and feel like you can do what you want to a certain degree. So I think it's an issue that the NBA is going to need to address. You're hearing Stephen A. Smith, for example, become much more vocal about this issue as of late, and I think it's going to be an issue, in my opinion. Hopefully that answers your question. So I saw Max. Max, let me get to your question or your comment. I think the Clippers have a better chance of beating the Lakers this year in the playoffs. I think the Clippers have a better chance of beating the Lakers this year than they did last year because of Rondo. But PG needs to play well in the playoffs. Absolutely right. You summed it up perfectly. I think the only thing you left out was Serge Ibaka. Serge is an important pickup. Let's not forget this for a second, guys. Serge Ibaka is critical, especially if the Clippers are playing teams that have very dominant bigs. It is critical. If it's a Zubac, does not help the Clippers with spacing. He cannot bring out their opposing bigs. This is critical. This is a critical element of the Clippers formula that they're trying to use to get success by winning the championship. Serge needs to be healthy. I love Serge Ibaka. Every time I see him, he's always on Netflix. I love Serge. Sometimes I check his stories. He's either at the pool or on Netflix or the video shoot. I got no issues with Serge, but the Clippers need him. Let me see what else. We got a new member here. Midnight Blue, thanks so much. Welcome to the channel. We appreciate that. Okay, let me see what else you guys got. Hey man, I just joined. I'm a big fan. Keep up. Hey, we appreciate that, man. Marco's in here as well. You see Marco, that's Marco responding to you guys. So you guys can say what's up to Marco. He's on with the Dreamerspro. So let me just get into this thing here. Let's talk about Anthony Davis for a second. So AD, according to ESPN, I want to get to this because I know there's some Laker fans in here. Make sure you guys hit the like button, guys. Make sure you guys hit the likes. We're almost at 150 people. Just make sure you guys keep hitting the likes. So let's talk about Anthony Davis. According to ESPN, I want to talk about this for a second. This is by Dave McMiniman. He said Los Angeles Lakers star Anthony Davis has been cleared for full contact practice and his return to game action is imminent. Lakers coach Frank Vogel on Thursday. It has been a while since Vogel has had a reason to smile when he was asked about the health of his players. However, Vogel broke out a grin when he was asked about Davis and as far as him being reevaluated. He said, so Vogel said, good news. And Davis, who's 28 years old, whenever he continues on to say, whenever it is that he returns, is going to be a full return and to be playing about 30-something minutes a night, Vogel said, especially with the nature of the practice and how shorthanded we are. He's going to have to use some games to try to get himself back in shape. So the first 2 games he'll be back will likely be on short minute performances. So essentially, and then Vogel continued, he's eager to get back. He's the biggest thing. He's tired of being patient and ready to play again. So he's eager to work in real practice in the next few days, live work and blah, blah, blah. So basically, what Frank Vogel is saying is that Anthony Davis is going to be making his return, which brings me now to the standings in the Western Conference. Okay, AD's coming back probably next week. Okay, depending on, I don't know what the Lakers schedule is. I'm going to assume he's coming back next week, right? This is going to be a major boost for the Lakers. Okay, because if we look at the standings right now, in the Western Conference, the Lakers are the number 5 seed, but they're right next to the Portland Trailblazers. If the Lakers drop a game, right? If they drop a game, then they could possibly move down they could be at risk of dropping down to the 6th seed. Now, if the Lakers drop to the 6, or they maintain, or let's just say they drop to the 6 and the Clippers stay at the 3, then the Lakers have a very good chance of meeting the Clippers in the first round. If that happens, get your popcorn ready. The Lakers don't want to make it to the 6th seed because their road to the finals is going to be much tougher, in my opinion, because I think you definitely have to play the Clippers and you probably have to play the Phoenix Suns to get to the finals. Now, Nick Wright, for example, is very, very confident that, listen, no matter what seed the Lakers come in, they're going to make it to the finals. I just think that it's going to take some days for AD to get his legs under him, and then we're going to wait to see what LeBron James has. And also, we got to talk about Andre Drummond, because they now have to throw this entire thing together. This is not like as if you're just throwing a popcorn in the microwave and then boom, it's going to just work like that. You need to these guys need to get reacclimated with each other. Now LeBron, I think, is the most important Laker, and he's the one that's going to make this thing really work. So the real person the Laker fans need to be on the lookout for is LeBron James. He is the engine, right? Or if he's not the engine, if you want to say AD is the engine, he's the engine oil, right? For any of you guys that have a car, know anything about an engine, if you don't have engine oil, that car ain't moving properly. You're going to have black smoke and all that kind of stuff. LeBron is the thing that makes that thing go. And LeBron is the one I'm waiting for to see when he comes back and how he's able to put that entire thing together. If they're able to get their sorted out in probably in 10, 8 games or whatever it is, then we got to see, right? But to me, AD coming back is big news. And it lets me know this as well, that the Lakers definitely want to go back to back. They're all in on this season. They definitely want to go back to back this year, and it's going to make things interesting. I'm very curious to see if the Lakers and the Clippers end up meeting in the first round. The Lakers and the Clippers have played each other 226 times. The Lakers have won 150. So I get the whole Laker Nation versus Clipper Nation. Lakers have been dominating that matchup in the regular season, and I would love to see that happen in the first round. Some people said, obviously, why would you want to face the Lakers in the Clippers are either going to face the Lakers or if the Clippers stay at 3, they're either going to face the Lakers or the Blazers. And the Blazers with Dame Lillard and all of these, that will also be an interesting matchup. Paul George, Dame Lillard, and all of that. That'll be interesting too. But I also want to see the Lakers play them. So let me see what else you guys got for me. John Wall get paid a big contract, then got chubby and like a hey man. John Wall is getting paid $40 million this year. $40 million. 40. Talking about contracts and not playing. That's absurd to me. Let me see what else you got. I think AD will play after the Utah game. He probably will. Yeah, we got to. Oh, now that we're talking about AD got to be more aggressive, man. Antoine Walker said this, but I was saying it before. AD took a step back this season. AD needs to step up his play. AD keeps looking at LeBron, jumping on his back, like, oh, daddy, good to see you, daddy. LeBron is 36 years old. AD needs to start playing like his age. AD is looking nice and throwing on some cool clothes. Bro, you got to play. You got to step up your play. PG looks like he's finally figuring things out. If you're just sitting here waiting for LeBron to carry him on his back like a baby and say, oh, carry me to the AD needs to play better this year. Though that 22 and whatever it is, those are great, but those are he can play way better than that. Last year he showed up in the playoffs, and he's going to need to do the same this year because the West got tougher, in my opinion. Utah is for real. The Phoenix Suns are for real. The Clippers are for real. AD needs to step it up this season. Let me see what else you guys got for me. AD is softer than that Afro. AD, I don't know what's up with AD, man. Do you think Kawhi can outplay LeBron in the playoffs? Can he outplay LeBron? I think he can. I think him and LeBron can cancel each other out. I don't know if he can outplay him, like average 40, and LeBron is averaging like 25. I don't see something like that. LeBron has a lot of pride, and LeBron is one of those few players. Make sure you guys keep hitting the like button, guys. We're almost at 200 people. LeBron is one of those players that takes pride. Like, LeBron has pride. I've seen it on the court. LeBron will go back and forth with a dude on the court, right? He has that type of pride on the court. LeBron can go at dudes. So does Kawhi. I've noticed that too. I've seen it a few times this year. Zach LaVine and others, or Devin Booker. Kawhi Leonard can go tit for tat with you too. I think it'll be one of the best matchups we could ever see. They've already met in the finals. Kawhi Leonard got the best of them. They met they met 12 times. Kawhi is 7-5 in the finals. So I would love to see this matchup. I think it would be great for basketball, in my opinion. Can Zubac contain Embiid? Zubac is very physical, but so is Embiid. Embiid is a big boy. Like, Embiid is a big boy. So I don't know about that. I don't think he does. I don't think he does. I don't think he does. Let me see what else you guys got for me. Okay, what's good? Kawhi, let me see. Who do you think will win that battle? What battle? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Midnight Blue X. Just say, who do you think will win that battle between who? Kawhi loves to compete against LeBron. He loves to compete against LeBron. Refs don't let you guard Embiid. I don't watch enough games, so I'm not really sure what you. Do you think Boogie? This is I can't pronounce the name. Do you think Boogie needs to rough up Embiid? By rough him up, do you mean like they need to get into a scuffle? Do you think he needs to be like a Dwight Howard? And by the way, now that we're talking about it, let's talk about Dwight Howard for a second, because he plays with the Philadelphia 76ers, by the way. Is it just me, or Dwight Howard has forgotten the sport that he plays in? Dwight Howard thinks he's like in a WWE Wrestling Federation or something like that. Y'all notice that Dwight Howard is always getting into a scuffle with somebody on the court, and is usually over something like so not worth it. Every time you look at Dwight Howard, hey, Kobe, Jarek, thanks a lot for that. Every time you look at Dwight Howard, he's always in some type of tussling match. And I'm like, what's wrong with this dude? How is it that you always, wrestling with dudes on the court? You're talking about Cousins. If Dwight Howard and DeMarcus Cousins are in the game at the same time, expect some technical fouls to be called, because Dwight Howard is always going to dudes. And a lot of the times, I don't see why. Dwight is always cheap shotting dudes with obvious elbows. You're hitting a dude like this, and when the guy comes in your face, you throw your hand up in the air. Like, oh, well, I don't understand why he's doing it. Dwight Howard, I don't know what's up with Dwight. He's leading the league in technical fouls this year. How is a bench player leading the league in technical fouls? It's absurd to me, but that's Dwight Howard. He's a very petty guy. I don't know why he's always like elbowing dudes. He brings physicality, but it's sometimes a little bit like Patrick Beverly. Patrick Beverly sometimes picks up ticky-tack fouls. But Dwight Howard, I don't understand. Look at him and Jimmy Butler in the finals. Him and Jimmy Butler got into a wrestling match. For what? Why are you wrestling with these guys for? This is the NBA. Like, it's not like as if you're going to get more points. I don't know what's up with Dwight Howard, to be quite honest with you. Okay, guys, for the new guys in here, I see we got a lot of questions. So, guys, if you want to make sure your question gets answered, make sure you guys hit the join button and join the channel so you can get a badge. Just hit the $ and join so I can pick out these comments. We got a lot of comments right now. I'm going to try to get through as many as I can. Make sure you guys hit the likes. We're almost at 200 people. I'll stay on here for about 5 more minutes or so, 5 to 10 more minutes. Try to take as many questions as I can. Let me see what else you got. Okay, Midnight Blue, you asked a question before. Let me just answer your question. Who do you think will win the battle? Okay, between LeBron and Kawhi. Kawhi is my dude, man. Kawhi usually plays well against LeBron. He usually does. All time, LeBron has better numbers against Kawhi, but as of late, Kawhi's been playing. I think they cancel each other out, and I think they bring two different things to the court, to be honest with you. Kawhi can score, LeBron can score. Kawhi scores differently than LeBron. I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know. They definitely, I believe, are the ones that are going to decide their series. Some people say Paul George, Anthony Davis, but at the end of the day, those are the two best players on either team. And I think they like competing against each other. I think LeBron respects Kawhi Leonard a hell of a lot, and I think Kawhi respects LeBron, but at the same time, he doesn't fear him. I think that's the difference. DeMar DeRozan respected and feared LeBron. You can tell by what the stuff he was saying. Like, that dude, we can beat that dude. That dude. That sounds like somebody that's afraid. Not as a man. Because DeMar DeRozan, I think, is from Compton. I think DeMar DeRozan is a tough guy. I'm not saying he's afraid of him as a man, but he was afraid of him on the court. I don't see that type of thing from Kawhi. Another player I don't think is afraid of LeBron is Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant can look LeBron right in his eyes and give it to him. So there are few players in the NBA that have zero fear for LeBron, and I think it's Kawhi and I think it's Kevin Durant. The rest of them, I think that most of them are either afraid or intimidated, in my opinion. Let me see. Yeah, Boogie's going to need some minutes tonight. Let me see what else you guys got. Dwight plays rugby. Yeah, he plays rugby, man. Dwight Howard is and he's a strong dude. It's not like as if you want to get into a restaurant. Dwight Howard is a very, very strong dude. I think they say he used to bench press like 500 pounds, 550. He's a strong guy, so it's not like as if he's a weak dude. Who do you think will be this Clippers 7 6. It's going to be tough. The Clippers got a lot of players because you got Reggie, and I think you got. I think the Clippers now have this thing where they play Reggie and Rondo together, which is kind of affecting Terrence Mann. I like Terrence Mann. He's a versatile guy, but on the bench, it's going to be hard to get minutes. Nicholas Batum is going to be playing because he's the backup to Marcus Morris Sr. And Nicholas Batum got like 5 blocks that. Nicholas Batum is a sneaky shot blocker. You got Nicholas Batum. You're going to have either, if it's a Zubac, if Serge is back, and DeMarcus Cousins, then you got Reggie Jackson, then you got Rajon Rondo. So who's the odd man out? Luke Kennard and Terrence Mann. Those are the last 2 guys out. So I think those are probably going to be the odd. And 7-8 rotation, I'm not sure. I think it's going to depend on matchups. Let me see. You say Lakers owning the Clippers in regular season. Look at the last 10. Yeah, it's different, but all time. The Clippers have been better than the Lakers recently, but the Lakers just won a title again. So we got to be fair here. Let me see what else you guys got. There may be some truth to that, Candace. There may be some truth to that. Batum makes our depth. Yeah, PG. Ibaka will be back. He's getting a lot better. I can see him coming back next week. I hope. I really do hope so. I think I've answered any guys. So if you guys have any more questions, let me just answer as many questions as you got. If you guys have any other questions, tonight I'm picking the Clippers to win this game. I expect them to get hot from 3. I expect Paul George to stay hot, but it's going to be an interesting matchup between Ben Simmons and Paul George. I think the Lakers are not going to. The Clippers are not going to have an answer for Joel Embiid. So I think the deciding factor in this game is going to be the Clippers 3-point shooting. That's what I think. But I think Paul George is going to do well. I think the Clippers are going to win. If they don't win and they lose, you lost to a good team. So what are you going to say? Clippers already beat the Philadelphia 76ers early this season. They already played them. They played them once this season. The Clippers beat them 122-112. Right? Kawhi Leonard finished with 28 points. Tobias Harris finished with 29 points, but I'm not sure if Joel Embiid played that game. Did he play that game? Did Joel Embiid play that game? I don't think he played. I don't think Joel Embiid played that game. So we got to see. This time it's going to be a little bit different. I think Big Zoo and Man will be up tonight. Okay. Back and PG's going off tonight. Joel did not. Yes, Joel did not. So it's going to be a different game. Any other comments before I go? I'll give it 1 or 2. Do you think politics will intervene with the Lakers and LeBron because LeBron's come back? For sure, there's always politics in the NBA, but it's not just the NBA. In every sport, there's politics. There's politics in politics. So politics always plays a role. How it shows itself, I don't know. To be honest with you, there's not one thing I can put my finger on and say this is Did you see? This is the NBA doing this. Some people may go back and look at that Draymond Green suspension in the NBA Finals and say, you see. But it's kind of hard to pinpoint. Let me see. I think Kawhi will play. I don't think he's playing tonight unless he's a game time decision, but I don't think he's playing. They're saying he's out. Yeah, Kawhi Leonard is an elite defender, man. If Kawhi plays, we'll show okay. Nets and Clippers are favorites to meet in the NBA Finals over Utah Suns. Yeah, but keep an eye on the Lakers. I don't know what to expect from the Lakers as of yet. I don't know because LeBron is coming back. I see you guys. Again, make sure you guys join the Dreamerspro Max. You guys have a lot of comments here. So make sure you guys join the Dreamerspro Max for basketball topics. You guys can join Dreamerspro Max. We're going to have that link in the description below. We're going to be live tonight. Again, guys, we're going to be live tonight on Dreamerspro Max. You can sign up, get 7 days of free access, so you don't have to worry about that. So sign up if you guys want to be a part of the chat tonight. Make sure you guys do that. If you haven't joined the channel, please make sure you go ahead and join the channel now. Let me just make sure I get as many comments. Kawhi loves to play against LeBron. I have faith in Big Zoo. I'm a Mavs fan. The Mavs are good, man. The Mavs are weird, too, because they can get hot and Luka can get hot. Tobias Harris has been listed as questionable. Okay, so who knows? He may play. Kawhi is questionable. Okay, so he's been moved up to questionable. Then he could play. Now, Kawhi hasn't played the last 2 games, so I'm not sure why he couldn't play, but I don't know the Clippers' schedule. I think they play again on Sunday, if I'm not mistaken. If I was Kawhi, I would like to get this last win because I think they have a very easy schedule at the end of the season, so I'll definitely like to get them this. Yeah, Reggie's been balling, man. Reggie's been balling. Any other questions? I think I've answered everybody's question. Yeah, and guys, also don't forget to sub to the channel. I forgot to say, don't forget to sub. Thank you, guys. Thank you for saying that. Don't forget to sub to the channel if you haven't already. I think I've answered almost everybody's question. Any other questions? I'll give you, one more minute here. Amir Kofi has been huge for us here. He's been playing well. Any other questions? I think I've answered everybody's question so far. Okay, so guys, again, I think I've answered everybody's question. I'm picking the Clippers tonight, but if they lose, I wouldn't be surprised. Philly's a very good team. I hope I answered you guys' questions. Again, if you guys have any questions, just leave it in the comment section below. I'll definitely get back to you guys a little bit later. Once again, thank you guys for your attention. Also, have a great Friday. Hope you guys have a lot of fun. Hopefully, we got a lot of people in here. I hope you guys enjoyed yourself so far, and I'll catch you guys on the next episode. Thank you guys so much, man. Catch you guys next time. Peace out. Peace out. Yeah, we're going to be live tonight. We're going to be live tonight on Dreamerspro Live. Dreamerspro Live. We're going to be live on Dreamerspro Max. So we're going to be there. So I think I got you guys. Thank you guys so much, man. Thank you guys. Have a good one.